Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Hello.
Good afternoon หลวงพี่สมบูรณ์
สาธุเจริญพรนะ Miss Janistan.
Good afternoon มุมมาลี and good afternoon เวเว
Good afternoon, หลวงพี่ Good afternoon, everybody.
only three of us again I think many people are having the Katin, so I believe most of them cannot make it.
Yeah, so today at the International Meditation Center that I'm staying also, they're going to be having a Katina ceremony tomorrow. Yeah. So is the temple Machi Monwali is today the ordination ceremony? Tomorrow, right?
I think your microphone is
It's on tomorrow, อาจารย์
I see.
But today, this afternoon they will have like what do you call music, local music
Going to be
and dance,
noisy.
local dance. So it's very noisy. It will start around 1:30. So that's why I inform first that maybe I have to off the microphone because the sound is very
It's
terrible. Yeah,
very loud, no?
yeah, very loud.
So,
It will
so,
start around
sorry,
1:30.
what is the temple you are staying right now, Machi?
วัดพระธาตุสีจอมทอง
วัดพระศรีจอมทอง
Yes.
Yeah, so that is the Northern Thai Buddhist tradition.
Yes.
So we have
Yes.
boy, we call
ปอย
boy.
หลวง yeah.
So it's kind of ceremony, so celebration, whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe ordination and important ceremony. It's going to be sound going to be loud and noise.
Yeah. And this year, the government department come to be the host of the Royal Katin here in. So the ceremony is very big. Start from this week, but the Katin day is next Sunday.
Oh, so it's going to be busy the entire week.
Yes.
Right.
Entire week.
So this is the Katina period of time. So every temple busy, preparing and arranging the ceremony. Okay, so hopefully we will be able to continue and still we can finish the rest of the 2 chapters that I sent to you in the line chat. So all right, so let us pay homage to the Triple Gem together. อะระหังสัมมาสัมพุทโธภะคะวาพุทธังภะคะวันตังอภิวาเทมิ สวากขาโตภะคะวะตาธัมโมธัมมังนัมมัสสามิ สุปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆสังฆังนะมามิ นะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะ นะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะ Okay, so let us continue from the previous chapter, now chapter 12. And after we finish this session, we're going to have a short break and continue right away into the chapter 13. So let's take a look about the term, the important term in this chapter, the term Parinibbana. So I believe that most of the Buddhist people are familiar with this term. And sometimes you may came across the word Nibbana. And Nibbana is a very one of the very well-known words in the Buddhist culture. And now they put the word Parinibbana, okay? Parinibbana. So Nibbana it means our enlightenment in English, or liberation from suffering. And there's many definitions that's trying to describe how the state of attaining Nibbana. So pretty much translate as enlightenment, or like a liberation from that suffering, the ending of the cycle of the rebirth. So, and here there's another interesting term that they put a word in Parinibbana. So do you know, or have you ever seen like this term Parinibbana? What does Pali mean? Why they put that Parinibbana? Anyone have any idea? Have you ever seen, have you ever heard about this term?
Sorry,
Parinibbana.
Lumpy, can you repeat your question again?
So have you ever seen this term and what Parinibbana means in the last periods of the Buddha history? Have you ever like see an explanation on this term before? So why don't they use only the term Nibbana, and why they use the term Parinibbana? So when the Buddha, we can say commonly and in general speaking, as the Buddha, when the Buddha died.
Is it
So-
in a sleeping position? No?
It's a kind of way when it's kind of special ways of recalling the death of a person who attained enlightenment. So Pali means complete. Complete is already complete death. It's like a perfect death. So Pali means complete. Nirvana is complete Nirvana. So why we don't use only Nibbana? Nibbana, actually, the state of Nibbana, a person when he or she attain Arahanthood, that person attain Nibbana, but their body still, their body physical still functioning, and so that means they're not complete, complete death, complete attain the Nirvana. So when that enlightened person pass away, we call die, So that means his mind and body no longer, no more, that's continuation of that cycle. We call complete nirvana or parinibbana in English. So that is about the term that to let you know and understand that why we use Pali. Pali is a kind of complete, complete attaining the enlightenment. It's like the last and final death. So we call it, sometimes we can say that it's a perfect death. The death that there's no more rebirth. Like in the concept of the Buddhist people believe that whenever our desire is not ending, that continuation of cycle of rebirth will move on. We call samsara. But a person who attained the arahanthood or achieved enlightenment, when this kind of person die, we will have a special term called parinibbana. We call attain complete enlightenment. All right, so let's take a recap, maybe from the previous chapter that we discussed last week about in the chapter 11. Okay, what is the name of the first monastery in Buddhism? Do you still remember?
Veluwana.
Mahadevi,
Veluwana.
Veluwana, and Parinibbana. And the correct answer is C, Veluwana. Who is the donor to this temple?
Pimpisara. King Pimpisara.
The king of the Makata clan, the Makata kingdom, offered that another name is called bamboo glove. It's a bamboo forest. That is a land belong to the King Bimbisara, and he thought that is a suitable place to let the monk and the Buddha to dwell and staying there. What happened to a group of the envoys? Do you remember that the king's daughter sent the envoy to invite the Buddha? So what happened to them? Okay, A, they all came back to Kapilavatthu. And did they come back? B, they all attained arahantship?
Yes, they all attain arahantship.
They all failed to see the Buddha?
B,
Did you see the Buddha?
B,
B.
B.
They were all killed during the journey. So
They all attain arahantship.
arahantship, right? B bird. Who ordained Prince Lahula? Do you remember who is Lahula? The son?
The Buddha's son.
And the Buddha's son. Okay, so the Buddha ordained himself, is that right?
No.
Venerable Ananda ordained for him?
No.
Venerable Moggallana?
No. Sariputta. Sariputta.
Okay, which one? D, right?
D, yes.
And D, Venerable Sariputta. So Sariputta, he has many different novice disciples, actually. So Venerable Sariputta, he's not not only foremost in wisdom, but also the Buddha praised him in so many different ways. Like he's the one who have gratitude. He is a good role model for being gratitude to everyone. Especially his teacher, the Venerable Asachi. So in the story said that whenever Venerable Asachi travel, if he heard that the Venerable Asachi travel to the north, he will put his head to the north direction, So that is the way how he recognized about and showing his gratitude on one and the teacher that allow him to see having the eyes of wisdom. And Venerable also would like to have a how to say, the novice, the young boy, and ordain and train them. And many of his novice disciples became arahanta since they were novice. And one time, there was an old man. There was an old man who ordained when he already get old. So this old man, before having a chance to become a monk, so at that time it's very difficult, and the person have to be approved. So many different ways that a person will be allowed to ordain and become a monk. And this old man, one used to offer the Venerable Sariputta a spoon of rice, and Venerable Sariputta still remember, and the Buddha called the meeting and declare to the Sangha, does anyone can approve to this old man that he has have determination or have any good deed that he have done for the Sangha. And Venerable Sariputta told the Buddha that this old man used to offer me a spoon of rice. So then the Buddha allowed this old man to become a monk. So that is how grateful that Venerable Sariputta and another virtues and role model that he's not only foremost in wisdom. And number 4, what is the name of the minister who finally succeeded in inviting the Lord Buddha to go back to Kapilavatthu? Okay, from the last chapter, do you remember the playmate, the Buddha playmate?
Karutayi.
Yeah.
Karutayi.
The
Karutayi. Yes.
Siddha, Channa, or Junta.
No. A. Kuradayi.
Okay, welcome in Venerable Luang Pi Kevin.
Okay.
And the number 5, who built Bupalama temple in the Buddha time? From the last chapter, there's another 2 important Buddhist temple. So, do you remember who offered this monastery? That's called Bupalam.
Visakha.
Visakha, Mahapachapati Gotami, or Samavati. So the daughter of the middle ear in Savatthi, right? So the Visakha, the female lay Buddhist devotee in the Buddha time. So Visakha, she was able to attain the called Sotapanna, or has attained the Sotapanna since she was 7 years old. So with 500 girl. So that means she attained the Sotapanna in her very early life. And number 6, Ananda Pindika. So literally mean, what does this mean? Ananta Pindika. Goldsmith, extreme happiness.
No.
He who has found meaning of existence, or the poor person lump of rice.
B. A poor person lump of rice.
So Ananda Pindika was a millionaire in Savatthi, and he offered one of the important monastery. What is the name of the monastery? Do you remember?
Chetawan Mahavihan.
Jadawana, said that the land of the Jada, Prince Jada, right? So Anatta, Anatta Pindika. He literally by word is mean a poor person lamb of bribes. So because he like to offer, so offer the rice rams of bribe to the needy people. Okay, so that's from the previous chapter. Okay, let us now move into chapter 12. Okay, before we start the chapter 12, let us have some pre-tests. Who is the Lord Buddha personal attendant? Okay.
Ananda.
Now, Venerable
Ananda.
Okay, let's see. Where did the Buddha attain Parinirvana? Do you remember the name of the place that's called the city?
Kusinaga.
Okay, Kusinaga. Okay, let's take a look in detail in chapter 12. The last disciple of the Buddha names
Suphatta.
Suphatta,
Suphatta.
who offered the Lord Buddha last meal.
Junta Sukali Kamala Buddha. Junta Sukali. ถูกแล้ว Junta Sukali Kamala Buddha.
So shortly we call Junta. Junta. That is his full name. Okay. So we're going to these people have a play important role in the last period session of the life of the Buddha. And the last meal that the Lord Buddha ate is called. So
Sukala Mandawa.
Sukala Madhava. Okay, let's take a look at how these term and people are related to the period that the Buddha are about to attain Parinirvana. Okay, so I would like to show you some the Buddhist the map of the northern part of India where Buddhism spread and settled down and reached in the Buddha time. No? So this is Makata clan. No? So it's one of the very influential clan where the Buddha spent most of his time over here. No? So the Buddha Gaya, where the Buddha attained enlightenment. So it's around this place where the Veluwana, the monastery that the Buddha was offered by the king Bimbisara, and the king Bimbisara ruled this clan. Another important kingdom that pay very influence to the other clan is the Kosala clan, which is the Savatthi here. It's a city where there's a many story happening in this city, in Savatthi, in the Savatthi city. And so the Buddha traveled across this clan and kingdom. So some are small, some a big clan, and they have many different. Then they have a different way to rule the clan. So some clan they have a we call multiple ruler. And it's like having a president like nowadays. We call governance. So for a year, for example, they would change the ruler, and king is not only one. They will switch the year. So, and this is the Ganges River, the spiritual river and considered as a holy river in Brahminism, or later on called Hinduism, and they believe that this is the river that come from heaven, come from God, and okay. According to the Brahmanism, they believe that if you have sin or if you have any a bad thing, so you can purify yourself, by bathing inside this river. So this is the geography that can help us to understand that how Buddha start his journey. So he was born here. It's called Lumbini, at the Himalayan foothill. Is the Sakya clan. So when he leave the palace, he traveled from here at the Kapilavatthu kingdom to the Makata, kingdom, and he ordained himself there and to become an ascetic for 6 years. And he became the Buddha. Then he started propagating the teaching from Uluvelas, and still the teaching spread, settled down in the Magadha clan. And he started to send his follower, the monk, to propagate the teaching into many different clans and to many different cities. Okay, so now it's been 45 years that the Buddha spent his time on teaching and propagating to many different group of the people, from a laborer, from farmer to up to the king, and many have come to ordain with him as become a monk and become his follower. And that time, Buddhism is considered as the richest time when Buddhism settled down in the northern part of India. So at the age of 80, so at that time, the Buddha also he got old, and he experiencing the deadly sickness. So his body no longer as energetic and as young as it used to be. Then this is the point that we are going to take a look in this chapter. So it's the time that the Buddha he have foretold of his passing away. So the Buddha know when he going to attain the Parinirvana. So at that time he was 80 years old. And the last periods of his the dwelling, the last retreat, his last vassa. So he living in the village of the Pelua, the city of the Vaisali. And at that time, he was badly having a badly sickness. So the Buddha, he was able to continue, So even though he have a very sharp pain, but he was able to continue by applying the meditation on the full path of accomplishment. In Pali, we call Itipat, Itibata 4. So it's a kind of virtue that if anyone would like to stay, would like to live long, would like to have long life living, So Buddha also applied that this is the full path of accomplishment. It's a way allow the person to stay and still 120, because his meditative training. So this is what the Buddha he talked to Ananda. So this come from the the Pali Canon, and he talked to the Ananda that now I am flail, Ananda, old age, forgone in year. This is my 80th year, and my life is spent even as an old cart. Ananda is held together with much difficulty. So the body of the Tathagata, Tathagata is what when the Buddha called himself, Tathagata, is kept going only with support. So this is allowed us to visualize that the Buddha, his body also get old. He doesn't look always young. This is showing the nature of human, the nature of the body, that even the Buddha body also get old. And he compared that his body is like a cart that's already old and all together. And because of that support, his body he's able to continue to live. So then the shrine. This is what the Buddha mentioned about the four, we call the Itipada, the four accomplishments that allow a person to live longer. In the Buddha mentioned about it in order to give the hints to the Ananda, that he wanted the Ananda to invite him to stay and live long until he reached 120. So then Buddha told Ananda, please Ananda, present Ananda is like is Vaisali, present or the shrine of Utena, Kodamaka, Satapaka, Bahuputta, Sarandata, and Chapala. So this is what the Buddha present about the place, the city that they cross. Whoever Ananda has developed, practiced, employed, strengthened, maintained, scrutinized, and brought to perfection to four institutions of psychic power could, if he so desire, remain throughout a world period or until the end of it. The Tathagata Ananda has done so. Therefore, the Tathagata could, if he so desire, remain throughout the world periods or until the end of it. Okay. So do you know why the Buddha mentioned? So he just like mentioned to this case. So what do you think? Okay. Anyone have any idea why the Buddha mentioned this to Venerable Ananda, his attendant? Anyone have any idea? No. So this is about giving a hint to the Venerable Ananda that if he like listen carefully and know the Buddha intention, he would have to invite the Buddha to stay longer and until he can live his life until 120. But in many interpretation said that because of the Mara, so the Mara came to blind the Ananda, not to understand the word of the Buddha, because the Mara would like to request the Buddha to quickly attain parinibbana. And the Buddha told Ananda, okay, you go and take a rest. You go and take a rest, maybe you may get tired. And then it a chance for the Mara to approach the Buddha. So then the Mara came and asked the Buddha again. So the Maras came to bother the Buddha many different times, to trying to convince the Buddha to enter Nirvana. It happened when the Buddha first attained enlightenment. The Mara also came, okay, so do not teach other people, do not teach people. So when you attain enlightenment, go and achieve Nirvana. But the Buddha told the Mara that no, if the teaching and the Sangha, the Sangha is not settled down, I will not attain Nirvana. Then the Buddha, now it's time, it's a chance for the Mara that he had a chance to approach the Buddha and request the Buddha and said that now, oh Lord, let the blessed one come to his final passings away. Let the happy one utterly pass away. The time has come for the parinirvana of the Lord. Right? And this is when, and the Buddha finally, finally, he record his intention when the Mara came to remind him about when he first intention decided to propagate the teaching, and told the Buddha that once before the blessed one, the Lord spoke these words, I shall not come to my final passing away, evil one, and still my bhikkhu and bhikkhuni, layman and laywoman have come to be true disciple, wise, well-disciplined, up and learn, preserver of the Dharma, living according to the Dharma, abiding by the appropriate conduct, and having learned the master word, are able to expound it, preach it, proclaim it, establish it, reveal it, explain it in detail, and make it clear and still when adverse opinions arise. They shall be able to refute them thoroughly and well, and to preach this convincing and liberating Dharma. So this means if the bhikkhu, bhikkhuni, layman, and laywoman are not skillful, simply not expert, are not well learned or penetrate into the teaching, he will not attain enlightenment. And that is the Buddha intention that he told to the evil one or the Mara. So then the Buddha considered that these all of these things happens already, and now his disciple bhikkhu, bhikkhuni, upasaka and upasika have well learned and known about the teaching. So then the Buddha told to the Lord of the Desire, or the Mara, and that he said, and now, O Lord, bhikkhu and bhikkhuni, layman and laywoman, have come to the blessed one disciple in just this way. So Lord, let the blessed one come to his final passings away. And the time has come for the parinirvana of the Lord. So then the Buddha, he decided not to continue, basically to give up his will to live. Then the Buddha replying to the Mara, so then told the Mara, do not trouble yourself, evil one, or the Mara. Before long, the parinirvana of the Tathagata will come about. 3 months hence, the Tathagata will utterly pass away. So that's when the Buddha decide to we call attain parinirvana. So he foretelling his future passings away. So when the Buddha he relinquished his himself to live, so the natural phenomena, so causing the earthquake, so it's like when he was born, and when he attained enlightenment, and when the Buddha make a decision to attain parinirvana. So that's extreme earthquake, that's very frightening, and so that's caused the Venerable Ananda to felt amazed at what happened to the earth, why the earth quaking. So then the Buddha told Venerable Ananda came to the Buddha and asked the Buddha about the cause of the earthquake. And the Buddha explained to Venerable Ananda that there are 8 causes of earthquake. So number 1 is it's happened because of the natural cause. It's like a normal and natural phenomena. And second is when someone having supernatural power make it happen. Person who have supernormal power. And number 3 is when the Bodhisattva depart from the Dusita realm and descend into his mother womb. So that also can cause the earthquake. And number 4 is when the Bodhisattva came out from his mother womb. And number 5, when the Buddha become fully enlightened. So this also cause the earthquake. And number 6, when the Buddha set rolling the excellent will of the Dharma. So when the Buddha give his first sermon, so that also will cause the earthquake. Number 7, when the Buddha renounced his will to live on. So when the Buddha make a decision to attain the parinirvana. And number 8 is when the Buddha come to pass away into the state of nibbana. So when after the Buddha explained these 8 causes of the earthquake, so Venerable Ananda knew immediately that the first 6, number 1 to number 6, all already happened. So it's like giving a hint that Venerable Ananda, with his wise and wisdom, he knew immediately now that the Buddha has already renounced his will to live on. Then the Venerable Ananda quickly asked the Buddha to invite the Buddha to live longer. So to continue to live. Then said to the Buddha, may the blessed one remain, O Lord, may the happy one remain, O Lord, throughout the world periods, for the welfare and happiness of the multitudes, out of compassion for the world, for the benefits, well-beings, and happiness of God and men. So, but the Buddha told Ananda that now, Ananda, it's too late. So what he told Ananda is he has already made a decision to pass away, and that cannot be undone. So then Venerable Ananda, when he heard that, oh, that's now too late. So he just couldn't do anything what to do. Just except that his fault not to invite. And the Buddha record the time that he trying to give a hint to the Venerable Ananda for 16 times. But the Venerable Ananda just didn't understand the message that he trying to give a hint. The Buddha tried to give a hint for him. So it is said that there are 16 times. So first time, there's many different places that the Buddha just kept talking about his that he will be able to live long and still the 1 world periods, so it's 1,120 years. But the Venerable Ananda just didn't notice, and he have no, he doesn't understand the hint and clue that the Buddha trying to tell him. And finally, he made the chant to invite the Buddha to live until 120. And this is we call the elephant tooth. The elephant look. Now, when the Buddha looked at the city, at his first last time. So it's a kind of showing that he will be gone away forever. Then the blessed one getting ready for noon, took bow and robe and went to Vaisali for alms. After the alms round and meal, on his return, he looked up Vaisali with the elephant look. So you can imagine how when the elephant look is like you look back to the city. And then the Buddha said to Ananda that this Ananda is the last time that the Tathagata will look upon Vaisali. Now come Ananda, let us go to Bandagama. So that is like he said that this is going to be the last time to live in the Vaisali. So now it's a journey. It's a time when the Buddha, he traveling from the Magadha to the north, and he, the Buddha and the group of the monk travel to the village where the metal worker named Junda came to offer the Buddha meal for his last meal. And at that time, the Buddha, he arrived at the Bawa, called the Bawa city. At this city, and the Buddha and the monk staying at the mango grove is that belong to the junta. So while he's staying there, the Buddha accept the invitation from junta to have meal at his house. So this is what's said in the scripture. So how the junta invite the Buddha to his place and offer him that kind of special dish, and that's caused sometimes said that it caused the Buddha to have that sharply illness. So let's talk about the food that the Buddha was offered by junta. So the food that's offered by junta to the Buddha is called sukala matawa. It's a kind of special dish. So after the Buddha had had this kind of food. Sometimes it's said that the food is made of it's a kind of food that's made of the meat of the young pork. But some interpretation call this kind of food explain and translate that this food is a kind of mushroom. So whatever kind of food that the Buddha had, but that caused him to have a badly sickness. Then the Buddha ordered that the junta that to bury the food and the leftover Sukala Matawa. So, and he said, bury that in a pit, for do not see in all this world with its gods or Mara, gods Mara and Brahma among the hosts of ascetic and Brahmin, God and man, anyone who could eat it and entirely digest it except the Tathagata alone. So no one will be able to digest the kind of that food. Whether the Mara, whether the Brahma, or ascetic or Brahmins, God or man, only the Buddha that will be able to digest this kind of food. So that is still a wondering and argue in many ways that what actually Sukara Madhava really is. Sometimes people think that it's a kind of is the meat of the young pork, or the young pig, or is a kind of mushroom. That's the pig like to eat. And soon after the Blessed One had eaten the meal provided by Junta at the middle worker, dire sickness fell upon him, even dysentery, and he suffered sharp and deadly pain. But the Blessed One endured them mindfully, clearly comprehending and unperturbed. Then the Blessed One spoke to the Venerable Ananda, saying, "Come, Ananda, let us go to Kusinaga." And the Buddha, and with a group of the monks, continue take their journey, going to the Kusinara. So along the way, the Buddha went to many different villages and city, but he still work on his work, and teaching people, teaching the monk. And one of the another interesting part of the journey to the Kusinara is when the Buddha are about to, and the monk about to crossing the river. So the Buddha and the group of the monk. So the Buddha, so we call the Blessed One, sat down at the seat prepared for him and said to Venerable Ananda, "Please bring me some water. Ananda, I'm thirsty and want to drink." So because he's at that time he was sick, and also he's old, so the Buddha got tired, and after having the Sukara Matawa, and that's even make the sickness even worse. So when they arrived as a place, and the Buddha told Ananda to bring him water. But Venerable Ananda answered to the Buddha that now there were a cart just crossing the river, and that's caused the water to be dirty. So then the Ananda suggested shall we or walk further and get some new the cleaner water in the next river. But the Buddha was very thirsty, that he would really want to have water, and he insists the Venerable Ananda for 3 times. So, and still maybe, and that's called Venerable Ananda to wonder, maybe there must be a reason that the Buddha like keep telling him to go to get the water, even though the water now could be dirty. So then Venerable Ananda went to the river. So, and he looked in the river is painted of the mud and dirty, not to be able to drink. But when he came closer to the river, and when he was about to take the water, and the water turned into clean water. Then he was very amazed at how could that be, that water from that dirty water turned into clean water. And he brought the water back to the Buddha and offered the Buddha a water and asked the Buddha about the reason why the water that's at first looked turbid and muddy now became clear and clean and settled down. And the Buddha explained to the Venerable Ananda about this kind of miraculous event that happened to the clean water. And the Buddha talking about his previous existence, that's what's karma that's caused him so thirsty to have water, and that he has to insist telling the Ananda to get the water for 3 times. So in his past existence, the Buddha explained that he was a leader of the Kalawan. So when they crossed the river, so the cows and are thirsty to have water, but the water is still muddy and is not clean. So he thought that the cow should have a cleaner water, and he didn't just let the Kalawan to stop to drink the water. And they walk further and still they find the new river and cleaner water. So by that cause, by that karma, that's when now that's caused him to have to insist the Venerable Ananda for 3 times. But because of his virtue, and that caused the water to become clean and clear. So that's telling that even the Buddha, so also have to, even the Buddha who attain self-enlightenment also have to repay for his karma. Very small, even he was about to attain parinirvana. You see that the karma doesn't lose, the owner doesn't get lost to pay back to that owner. So that's showing, in this case of the Buddha, showing the power, and the we call it the justice of the paying back of the karmic law. Reliving junta remorse. So then the Buddha were thought to think of the junta that he may feel regret or remorse about his offering, that his meal that offered to the Buddha caused him to cause the Buddha illness to become worse. So then the Buddha told Ananda to reduce the junta if he have that remorse. So, and the Buddha clarified about the most fruition, and offering food that equally giving fruition. Is one first time is when the Buddha was about to attain enlightenment. So that's meal offered by the Suchada, the lady. And the second meal, that is pay equally fruition. That is when the Buddha was about to attain Nibbana. And that is the second meal, and these two meals are equally give the same result, the same fruition. So that is not to let the junta to feel guilty about his offering, that, oh, because of my offering, that's caused the Buddha to become deadly ill. Okay, so then the Buddha and the monk and the Sangha are traveling to the city of the Kusinaga. Said that the Blessed One addressed the Venerable Ananda, saying, "Come, Ananda, let us cross the farther bank of the Hilatawati and go to Mala Salaglav in the vicinity of Kusinara." And the Blessed One, together with the large company of Bhikkhu, went to the further bank of the river Hiratawati to the Salaglav of the Mala in the vicinity of the Kusinara. And he spoke to the Venerable Ananda and said, "Please, Ananda, prepare for me a couch between the twin Sala tree with the head to the north. Now, I'm very Ananda and want to lie down. So said that the Buddha said he tired and he would like to take a rest and lay down. And the Venerable Ananda prepared him the couch between that two twin Sala tree. And the Venerable Ananda did as the Buddha asked him to do, and the Blessed One lay down on his right side. So using his hand and laying down on the right side. It's called the Ryan posture. So sleeping like a Ryan. In Pali term, we call Siha Sayasa. Siha Saya. Laying on, sleeping like a Ryan. Resting one foot upon the other, and so dispose himself mindfully and clearly comprehending. So then the Buddha mentioned about the highest degree in worshipping to him. So when the Buddha arrived at the Kusinaga, and the Buddha told Ananda, said that, "Ananda, the twin Sala tree are the full bloom, so it is not the season of the flowering, and the blossom rain upon the body of the Tathagata and drop and scatter and are strewn up it in worship of the Tathagata, and celestial coral flower and heavenly sandalwood, now powder from the sky rain down upon the body of the Tathagata and drop and scatter and are strewn up born in a worship of Tathagata, and the sound of the heavenly voice and heavenly instrument make music in the air out of the reverence for the Tathagata. Yet it is not thus, Ananda, that the Tathagata is respected, venerated, esteemed, worship, and honor in the highest degree. But Ananda, whatever bhikkhu or bhikkhuni, layman or laywoman, abide by Dhamma, live uprightly in the Dhamma, walk in the way of the Dhamma, it is by such a one that the Tathagata is respected. Venerated, esteem, worship, and honor in the high degree. Therefore, Ananda, thus should you train yourself. We shall abide by the Dhamma, live uprightly in Dhamma, walk in the way of Dhamma. And the Buddha pressed that the Dhamma is a higher worshipping. So worshipping by flower, worshipping by material, he doesn't consider that the highest degree of worshipping. But anyone or a person who following the Dhamma, following the teaching, and that is the way to we call the esteem, the highest degree in worshipping. So then, Venerable Ananda was worried that what the community and what the monk will do if after the passings away of the Buddha, because every time when the Buddha still if the Buddha is still alive, then people can come and worship him to gain the merit. But if he passed away, what's the full community, the Buddha, the bhikkhu and bhikkhuni, upasaka and upasika, will how could they come to pay homage, pay respect to the Lord Buddha? And the Buddha told Ananda that formal the Ananda as the Buddha, formerly Lord, in leaving their quarter after the rain, the bhikkhu would set forth to see the Tathagata, and to us there was the gain and benefits of receiving and associating with those very revered bhikkhu who came to have ordains with the Blessed One and to wait upon him. But Lord, after the Blessed One has gone, we shall no longer have that gain and benefit. So Venerable Ananda worry that concerned that before when the Buddha still alive, so we can gain that benefit by going to see him or worship him. But if he passed away, so where would we gain that benefit? Then the Buddha told Ananda about the full Buddhist pilgrimage that a pious person who are Buddhists are supposed to go to visit, to look upon and to have a sense of urgency or feeling of reverence. So the 4 places that the Buddha told the Ananda that these Ananda are the 4 places that a pious person should visit and look upon with feeling of reverence. And truly they will come to these places. Another pious bhikkhu and bhikkhunis, layman and laywoman, reflecting. Here the Tathagata was born, the place that the Buddha was born at Lumpini. Here the Tathagata became fully enlightenment. So where the Buddha achieved enlightenment in Buddhagaya. And as surpassed supreme enlightenment, here the Tathagata said, rolling the unexcelled wheel of the Dharma is the place where the Buddha gave his first sermon at the Isipatana or Sana. When the Buddha, he teaching the 5 ascetic, and the Dhamma lecture that's taught to 5 ascetic is a Dhamma Jaka, Pavatana Sutra. And the last place, so it's a place here the Tathagata passed away in the state of nirvana, in which element of the clinging remain, in Kusinara. So these 4 are the 4 places that the Buddha told Ananda is a place that a person who have faith in Buddhism is supposed to go to visit in order to have a feeling of reverence or a sense of urgency, to have that quickly rushing in practicing Dhamma. So that is Sana, Kusinaga, Buddhagaya, and Lumbini. We call it the 4 holy places of Buddhism, the place where he was born, or Lumbini, the place where the Buddha attained self-enlightenment, or Buddhagaya, and the place where the Buddha gave the first Dharma lecture, or as Isipatana or Sana. And then before the place where the Buddha attained complete Nibbana, at Kusinara. So then the Buddha talked about and the Ananda asked the Buddha, so the Buddhist monk have to get involved with the have to associate with lady, with a woman. So then the Buddha suggests the Ananda, that's what should the bhikkhu or the monk treat the woman. Then the Buddha told Ananda that if it's not necessary, it's better not to look at them. So if it's necessary to look at them, it is best not to speak with them. If it's necessary to speak to them, a monk should only say what is useful. He must keep his mindfulness intact. He must not be influenced by lust or craving. He must not be gave inappropriately, physically and verbally. He must conduct himself appropriately. And after that, the Buddha, the Venerable Ananda asked the Buddha how his body, the body should be treated. So the Buddha ordered before he passed away that he said that not allowed the monk to get involved, to do anything. So monk should not get involved with that's dealing with his his body. So let the king or Brahmin, the spiritual leader, to deal and with his body, and treat his body in the same way that the body of the universal monad is treated. So he let people to treat his body like a universal monad or the king. So then enshroud his body with white cloth, like wrap his body with white cloth, followed by a layer of cotton wool. And repeat the process 500 times. Place the enshroud body on an iron rod filled with oil. over the Aran, threw and placed it on the funeral pyre made of scented wood. The wood that used to be will be used to burn the body of the Buddha. Is have a good smell. Scented wood is kind of wood that have a good smell. After the body has been cremated, they are enshrined his remain in the stupa to be built at the major intersection. So then the Buddha explained that a person should be treated and his body and bone should be enshrined in the stupa. There are 4 types of people. The first one is the Lord Buddha, and the second type of person is Pacceka Buddha, the Buddha that attained enlightenment, but not teaching other people. And number 3 is the Alahata, and number 4 is the universal monad, and who govern the his people without we call using force. So these are the 4 type of people that their bone should be enshrined in a stupa. So then Venerable Ananda agreed. So Venerable Ananda, even though he attained the Sotapanna, but because losing the passing away of the Buddha is a big loss for the Venerable Ananda, and he cannot bear and stand for the grief that's stricken his mind. So then he isolated himself in a room and proclaimed that's the Lord Buddha. And so he lived and stay with the Buddha as his wife, but he now will be gone away, and now I'm not that yet attained the supreme enlightenment. So why the Lord gone away very quickly? So then the Buddha comfort the Venerable Ananda and said that enough, Ananda, that do not grieve, do not lament for having not taught from the very beginning that with all that is there and beloved there must be change and separation and severance, or what is born come into being, compounded and subject to decay. How can one say may it not come to dissolution? There can be no such state of thing now for a long time. Ananda, you have served the Tathagata with the loving kindness in deed, word, and thoughts, and graciously, presently, with the whole hearts and beyond measure. Great good have you gathered. Ananda, now you should put forth energy, and soon you will be free from the trend. So then the Buddha praised the Venerable Ananda. That's the Venerable Ananda is foremost in personal assistant. It's uncomparable with the purest Buddha assistant. And declare to the bhikkhu, the monk, that behold, monk, of all the monks who were the personal assistant to all of the previous Buddha, none was superior to Ananda, and all the monks who will be the personal assistant of all the future Buddha, none will be superior to Ananda. So the Buddha said that Venerable Ananda will be will not be able to compare. So he is one of the best Buddha personal assistant. Even though in the past, or even though in the future, there will not be this kind of person who will be good as at the Ananda. Then Buddha continued, said, "Behold, monk Ananda is a sage. He does everything wisely. He know when it is the right time for the disciple to see the Tathagata. He know when a bhikkhu should see him, when the bhikkhu should see him, when a male lay devotee, if female lay devotee, a king, a minister, and court official, even a heretic disciple should see him. Ananda know very well and is very thorough in every aspect. Then the Buddha talked about the glory, the past glory of Kusinaga. And Venerable Ananda talked to the Buddha that why not shoot the other city, which is a bigger city, Kusinaga just a small city. Now why the Buddha decided to pass away in this small city? Then the Buddha told Ananda that do not think that Kusinaga is a small city. And the Buddha talked about the glories, the past glory of Kusinaga, that Kusinaga used to be a big city that ruled by a king. So ruled by the king who are universal monarchs. So, and the Buddha talking about the history, the past story about the Kusinaga, that once there lived a Mahasupata king, the king that ruled the Kusinaga, and he was a universal monarch. So he conquered the full culture of the earth, and whole realm was established. And the king in the old days, the city of the Kusinara is called a Kusawati, the Kusawati city. It's a city that's the former name of the Kusinaga. And explain that the city is non-sleeping city. There's always performing by the music. And they play all days and night. So it's like a very called rich city in the old day. So, and that's why the Buddha that considered this is the most suitable city that he will attain Parinirvana. So some other reason why the Buddha decided to attain a nirvana here was that he founded this city. There were the Malla ruler, which is they are not really powerful. That when the king from the other clan sent the envoy to share his relics, there will not be a conflict, and they will not fight against one another. And there also a wise Brahmin called a Dona Brahmin who will be sharing the relics of the Buddha in the future. Now there was a man, a wandering ascetic named Supata, came to the Buddha and asked the Buddha about the many important what he wondered about the world. And he asked the Buddha that is there a step in the air? Is there a step in the air? Is there the beginning of the world at the times or not? And the Buddha told the Supata that there's no step in the air, you know. Yeah. So then the Buddha just taught, taught the Supata that's also, he also asked another important question. He said that, is there any other religion that have the enlightened monk? And the Buddha told us there's no the enlightened person in the other religion. That's only in Buddhism that have the enlightened enlightened beings or arahanta. And the Buddha continued to explain that as long as there are person who following the Noble Eightfold Path, so that's Sangha will not lack of the enlightened beings, the enlightened one. So in case of Supata, so the Buddha, after answering question to Supata, so by in the case of Supata, because he was from the another school, he was the he wasn't an ordinary people because he used to follow the other religion. So in this case, the Buddha, that person have to stay ordained as a novice first. But in case of Supata, the Buddha just allowed him to become a monk right away. So after he became becoming a monk, he intensively practiced his meditation. And finally, he was able to attain the arahanthood. And this is the conversation between the Buddha and the Supata that he asked. He said that there are venerable Gautama ascetic and Brahmin who are heads to great company of the disciple, who have large retinue, who are leader of the school, well known and renowned, and held in high esteem by multitude. Such teacher as Parana, Kassapa, Makudli, Kosala, Ajita, Kesa, Kampila, Kampali, Pakutta, Kachayana, Sachaya, Palatiputta, Nikontrana, Nitaputta. Help all of this attain realization, as each of them would have its belief or has none of them, or it is that some have attained realization and other not. So like these teacher are the enlightened one or not, or are these in this school having the enlightened one. Then the Buddha said, behold, Supata, whichever religion does not is a Noble Eightfold Path, the full holy personage cannot happen in that religion. My religion is the only one that teaches the Noble Eightfold Path. Therefore, the full holy personage happen only in this religion. So this is currently the Buddha said that they will not the personage in other religion, only in his teaching and the noble. And the Buddha is the only one who teach about the Noble Eightfold Path, and said that, behold, Supata, if my disciple continue to practice righteousness, the world will not be devoid of arahant. And this is another confirmation that the Buddha told the Supata that if there's still the person practicing following the Noble Eightfold Path, the world will not lack of the arahanta. And so this is the rule that I mentioned earlier, that he normally a person who convert from the other follower, other religion, have to have to be under becoming a novice for at least 4 months of training after becoming a monk, a Buddhist monk. And this is the four degree of saintliness. So there's a stream enterer or sotapanna, the once returner, Sakatha-kami, the non-returner and Anakami. So Anakami will not reborn as human again. And the Arahat, the supreme enlightenment. Then the Buddha didn't assign any particular monk to be the leader, but instead he insists to the Ananda that he said that is maybe Ananda that to some among you the thought will come, and it is the word of the master. We have a master no longer, but it should not, Ananda, be so considered for that which I have proclaimed and made known as Dhamma and the discipline that shall be your master when I'm gone. So that is what the Buddha told the Ananda that after he's passed away. So if some may think that they will not have no more teacher, but the Buddha said that the Dhamma and his discipline will be will work as his representative. And the rule for addressing each other. So this is the way how senior monk and the junior monk call one another. So then the Buddha told to Ananda that, Ananda, whereas now the bhikkhu address one another as friend, let it not be so when I'm gone. The senior bhikkhu Ananda may address the junior one by their name, their namely name, a family name, or as friend, but the junior bhikkhu should address the senior one as venerable sir or your reverence. Like in Pali we call awuso, it means friend. Pante means venerable sir. So we call the Pante, venerable sir. Your reverence, ayasama. So this is how the Buddha told the monk when they call each other. So for the senior monk and the junior monk. So about the prama punishment. So it's like we call the ultimate, the ultimate punishment to the Sangha. So at that time there was Venerable Channa, the Prince Siddhartha attendant, and he became a monk, and he was so arrogant that he used to be the Buddha follower, and sometimes he blamed at the Venerable Moggallana, then he blame at the Venerable Sariputta that, oh, these people, how could they become foremost in wisdom and foremost in sight power? So I am the one who used to be with the Buddha since he was very young. And even after he became a monk, he didn't give up his arrogance, and he just didn't listen to anyone, saying very stubborn monk. So then the Buddha told the Sangha to treat the monk Channa by, it's called, that's kind of punishment called Brahma punishment. It's about you didn't associate. So let all the monk do not whatever monk junta do, just let him do. Didn't associate, didn't talk to him, didn't blame them, and didn't blame him. And that is we call the Brahma punishment. It's a kind of ultimate punishment that laid down by the Buddha. And Venerable Channa, when he was ignored by the Sangha, so he felt painful, and that's why when he heard that the Sangha were going to ignore him, so then he had to change his behavior. Have to change his behavior on like blaming at other people. And then the Buddha told the Sangha that whoever has any question about Buddha, Dhamma, or Sangha, or the path and the practice about the teaching, so let him ask the question now while the Lord Buddha is still with them. And the Lord Buddha repeats the question for 3 times. But all the monks there just remain silent and remain quiet. Then Venerable Ananda said, "Oh, this is amazing, wondrous and surprising that not a single monk here has a question or doubt about the Buddha, the Dhamma, the Sangha, the path, or the mode for practice." Then the Buddha said that all of the monks and people who are here, all of them are the devotee who at least attain the we call Sotapanna. So that's why no one have no doubt in the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. When the Buddha opened that, if anyone have anything to ask him. The final advice. So this is the last words of the Buddha when he was about to attain Parinirvana, and he said that this is my last warning, my last word. And he said, behold now, Bhikkhu, I exhort you, all compounded things are subject to vanish. Strive with earnestness for your own salvation. So this is all the summary of the teaching of the Buddha. That's all the teaching that he spent 45 years. Come to the conclusion. So if we can explain in one word, it could be the words peacefulness, not to be careless about life. And that is these are the last teaching, the final teaching of the Lord Buddha that before he passed away. So then the Buddha attained we call practicing entering the different we call jhana, different meditative absorption. We call the jhana 4. So in the first state, he attained the full, we call the full form of jhana, the full non-form of jhana, and the cessation of the perception and feeling. So at the time, the Venerable Anuruddha, so this is another one who are foremost in we call the divine eyes. So Anuruddha have that special eye that he could see that what is the state of the minds of the Buddha. Now, where was he now? And he foremost in the celestial eyes, and he could see that the Buddha attaining the different jhana. He went to the first jhana, and he went into the second jhana, and went into the third and fourth. So then returned from the first jhana and entered the higher and higher jhana until he reached the fourth jhana. Living the fourth jhana, he then complete nibbana. So that this occurred the last watch of the full moon night of the 6th lunar month of Visakha Punlanami. So it's the day that the Buddha attained final nibbana. So in that, the earth have loudly causing one hair to stand and on end, and the sound of celestial drums reverberate around the sky is what the great commotion of the final moments. Then the Brahma king made a remark that all living beings on earth must leave their body behind to fill the earth. Even the Lord Buddha, he possesses incomparable virtue, who has attained self-enlightenment, who is omnipotent, had to leave his body behind and attain complete nirvana. And the fact should serve to rouse a sense of urgency in us. And then the Indra, the king of the second heaven, also make his remark, said that all compounded things are impermanent. They come to being naturally and undergo deterioration naturally. They happen and they end. They cannot last. The extinguishment of such compounded things as the five aggregates bring about true happiness, because the suffering associated with the birth, aging, and death has come to an end. And Venerable Anuruddha, we have that celestial eyes, and also he made his remark, said that the Lord Buddha was steadfast and could not be perturbed by the 8 worldly condition. His breathing has now stopped. He was not at all bothered by death. He experienced only the peace and tranquility of Nibbana. He has passed away in the manner impossible for ordinary beings. He endured suffering with perfect mindfulness. He has now attained complete Nibbana. His 5 aggregates are no more, just like a bright torch that is suddenly extinguished. And Venerable Ananda made the remark that when the Lord Buddha attained complete Nibbana, human beings and celestial beings alike can witness amazing events that bring one here to stand on end. Okay. So these are the in the chapter 12. So when the Lord Buddha in this chapter, mostly is taken from one of the sutra called Mahaparinibbana Sutra. So it's one of the longest sutra in the discourse of the teaching of the Buddha. It's the final session of his periods of time, how he addressed, trying to lay down the order to the community and the monk. And that is the last session, last periods of the life of the Buddha, that he attained the complete Nibbana. Now we are going to take a short break for 10 minutes. Okay, then we come back and continue for the chapter 13. And what happened after the Buddha passed away, how his body was treated, and how his teaching, what problem that's happened after the Buddha passed away. And we'll take a look in the last chapter, in chapter 13. Okay, so 10 minutes break and we come back to the class. Now let us continue to the chapter 13, and the last chapter of the history of the life of the Buddha. So in this chapter, it's not going to, it's the situation and even happened after the Buddha passed away. Then this is going to be the some other important case that's come to be how the Sangha and the monk at that time trying to preserve and protect the teaching. Okay, so from the previous chapter, okay, anybody have any question? Do you know what what the Sukaramatawa or the food that the Buddha had. So what do you think? Is this a mushroom or is a meat from young pig? So because it's not clear in translation, so some say that the Sukaramatawa is a kind of mushroom. That is a kind of mushroom that the pig like to eat. And they found that this kind of mushroom is found in most European country. And the way to find this kind of mushroom, they have to use pig, because it's underground. So they have to use the pig to dig this kind of mushroom. So that is also, they believe that it could be this kind of mushroom that is it's not easy to be seen in common, and they have to use the pig because pig like to eat this kind of mushroom. Another interpretation, they believe that these are kind of we call young the meat of the young pig. It's a kind of pork. So that's why some tradition believe that we should not offer the Buddha. We should not offer meat, especially pork, to the Buddha or to the monk. Some like in Mahayana tradition, they practice like not having meat and become a vegetarian. Because they believe that because of this, because of that pork the Buddha ate at his last meal, that's causing him to have that deadly sickness. So it's come to be many different interpretation. But the Buddha also approved that the last meal that he take is not a kind of something that considered as a bad intention from the junta offering, but he in opposite, he said that this is the most fruitful outcome of the offering of the meal, and he mentioned the two different times that give we call incomparable fruitful result on offering him is when he was about to attain enlightenment, and the meal that before he attained the parinirvana. So not to let the junta concern that, because of his meal that's leading him, caused the Buddha to die to death. Okay, so I think that is one point that we is a called noticing point in the history of Buddhism, that some point is not clarified, but most believe, most of I have read one article. Most of the article believe that it's a mushroom. It's not that really a pork, so and that is one of the we call argument in the last meal of the Buddha. All right, so let's continue in chapter 13, the periods of time after the Buddha passed away, and then how people deal with his body. So before he passed away, he gave an order to the monk that do not get involved dealing with his body. So at first I wonder why the Buddha didn't let the monk to arrange the ceremony and to deal his body. So the Buddha insists that this is not the duty for the monk. So let the king and bless those the people who have faith and to on him to deal with the body. So. And he ordered the monk that you have to work hard on your practicing. Do not, should not come to do anything with his body. So that is this chapter. We're going to be discussing about the time when the Buddha, after his passing away. So after Buddha passed away, so the Mala ruler, the ruler, Mala is a king. So the group of the king, like I told you at the first slide, the previous slide, that's in the Mala, in the Kusinanaga, they rule the clan by switching we call the leader, the king. And every 4 years, every year they would change the ruler. So in the Kusinara, ruled by this group of the Mala ruler. So after the Buddha passing away, so the news about the passing away of the Buddha spread to the people. So then the Mara ruler announced that the people could come and worship by bringing the perfume, the flower, scented item, and to worship to the body of the Buddha. And they said that the body of the Buddha for a week. So, and like a 6th day, and the last day of the ceremony. So before they cremate the body, to allow the people who come from different direction to worship the body of the Buddha. So after 6th day and day 7, and it is believed that when the body of the Buddha was ready to be burned, then the people trying to set the fire, but the fire cannot be lit, So it is the venerable, the Anuruddha seated, the Deva, the celestial being, didn't want the body of the Buddha to get burned yet, because these Deva are respecting to the venerable Mahakassapa, and they would like to have venerable Mahakassapa to come and having opportunity to pay homage to the Buddha as the last time, and the body, so the body could be burned, So at that time, the venerable Mahakassapa and with the 500 monks, traveling back to, I heard about the news about the passing away of the Buddha, And the place that the Buddha, the body of the Buddha was cremated is called a Makutta Bandana Jediya. Shrine is a shrine of the Mala to the east, to the Kusinara, where the Buddha body was cremated. So, and this is the present day, the Sala Park. So that's twin Sala that the Buddha passed away. So Kusinaga. So if you had chance to visit its place, this is where this place look like. Makutta Bandana Jedi, the place that the Buddha body were cremated. So the build is like a jedi, and it's like a pagoda. So let's take a look about an interesting term in this point. Jediya is mean reminder or memorial. So when translate into English, like the stupa or jediya were created and built to to maintain or keep the bone or relics of the Buddha. So Makutta Bandana. So when we translate into English, it means is a hall in which the Mala ship or the Mara ruler put their ornaments or their princely clothes or the luxurious item. So in the day that they cremate the Lord Buddha body. So go back to the in the group of the monk in the Venerable Mahakassapa. Now the Venerable Mahakassapa and the 500 monks knew that the Buddha passed away, and they are quickly traveling back to the Kusinara. Then one of the monks named Supatha. So the Supatha, the new monk who ordained when he was old, and he then make an appropriate remark on the passing away of the Buddha, and he said that stop crying. And so he said to the or the monk that there is no reason to grieve to monk Gotama passing. So it's mean that you don't have to be sad. So Buddha passed away already. It's good for us. So that's kind of sense. When he was still living, he was always telling us not to do this, but to do that. Now that he is gone, we no longer have anyone to tell us what to do, and we can do whatever we want from now on. So that's what the Buddha, what the Supatha thoughts, and right away the Buddha passed away. There's a Supatha, who just didn't know, and the time just said, oh, why you said now the Buddha already passed away. And so when he's still alive, he just kept telling us that's we should do, that what we should not do. So now he has gone. And so we can do whatever we want to do, And this saying heard by the Venerable Mahakassapa, and he would like to punish this monk, but he has to quickly go back to Kusinaga. And he thought, even the Buddha just passed away. There's someone's already made an appropriate remark on his again to him already. So that is hasten the Venerable Mahakassapa to do something to preserve and protect the teaching of the Buddha. So actually, before the passing away of the Buddha, the first one who trying to we call rehearsal or keep the teaching of the Buddha organizedly was the Venerable Sariputta. But because when Venerable Sariputta thought that the other, there's one of the spiritual leader in that's we call Jainism. So the leader of the Jainism named Mahavira. So it's similar case to the life of Mahavira. He also considered as one of the spiritual leader, and when he passed away, his followers just spread into different groups. And also many conflict and argument among the follower and disciple. So Venerable Sariputta don't want that to happen to the Buddhist monk and the Buddhist the Buddha disciple. So that is the first intention does not only happen after the Buddha passed away, but the intention to preserve the teaching already proposed by the Venerable Sariputta, but he cannot have it done because he passed away before the passing away of the Buddha. So and then the Venerable Mahakassapa then quickly go back to the Kusinaga and had a chance to pay homage to the Lord Buddha body and walks we call white crops the three times. And after finished 3 times, the body of the Buddha got burned right away without anyone lighting the fire. So some believe that because the celestial being or the Deva, so when the Venerable Mahakassapa arrived already, so they just let the Buddha body got burned. The division of the holy relics, so dividing the Buddha relics or the bone or the remain. So the one who play important role in dividing the relics of the Buddha is one of the Brahmin called named Dona Pram or Dona. So Dona is a Brahmin. So at the first time, the Malla ruler didn't want to share the relics, didn't want to share the relic to anyone. So they thought that, okay, the Buddha, he decided to attain Parinirvana in our country. So why we have to share the relics to the other kingdom? So we better keep it in our kingdom. But Dona Brahmin remind to the Malla ruler that so the Lord Buddha, the Lord Buddha didn't press conflict. He didn't support the violence and conflict among the clan. So after the Dona Brahmin won the Malla ruler, because Dona the Brahmin was very respected by the Malla ruler. So after the body of the Buddha got burned, so each clan, there are totally 8 different clans. So send the invoice. So send the invoice to share the relics. So some even send an army, waiting for the outside of the city waiting to share the relics. And Dona Brahmin waiting for all the 8 different clans come when they arrive there together, and they start to share the relics equally into 8 different parts in order to share to the 8 different kingdoms. So for Dona himself, Dona Brahmin himself, he asked only for the gold measuring cup. So the cup is used to measure, to measure the amounts of the relic that they share into 8 different parts. So then the other clan, so one of the clan named ruled by the Moliya ruler, so also send the envoy to ask the holy edge to enshrine them in the stupa. And because there's no more relics to share, but the Moliya ruler asked for the holy edge to enshrine in the stupa. So not the relics, but only the assets decompose. There were at the time then stupa built for the purpose of enshrining the holy relics. So every envoy from the 8 different kingdoms took the relics and returned to their kingdom. So they enshrine that holy relics in the stupa. They're totally now 10. So the 8 different parts of the Buddha relics, and one the stupa that's built by the Dona Brahmin to enshrine the gold measuring cup, and the 10 stupa is the stupa that built by the Molia ruler. There are totally 10 stupa that enshrine the parts of the Buddha relics. So 8 parts are the relics, and one is the golden measure, and another stupa is the holy edge of the relics of the Buddha. So after the division of the relics of the Buddha, so now it's time to rehearse the teaching of the Buddha. Now we call Sankhayana. So after after 3 months after the passing away of the Buddha, almost 3 months. So the Venerable Mahakassapa had to hasten, to preserve, to protect the teaching, and he called the meeting to have the recitation we call Sankhayana or Sankhiti, to collecting the teaching of the Buddha and recite to preserve the teaching. Then in the rehearsal or recitation, so they have invited many we call most senior monks, and that is supposed to include Venerable Ananda. So there are all supposed to be 500 Arahanta monks, but because the Venerable Ananda he didn't attain the arahantship yet. So at that time, he just attained the Sotapanna. So he are not eligible to attain the meeting. So then he quickly trying to practice, days and nights and day and night to attain the arahantship. So, but the harder he try, the more tired he get, and just at night, just a day before the night before the meeting, the recitation, he felt tired and he would like to take a rest, And while he was about to lay down, so his mind fled from attachment and clinging, and that moment allowed him to attain the arahantship. So Venerable Ananda attained the arahantship in the most strength way, because in the position that he attained arahantship is not in the position that he's sitting meditation, is not the position that he's standing, walking, or laying down. It's like a half sitting and half laying down. So that's why he is one of the monks that who have we call attaining the arahantship in the position that is not like other arahanta monk. So after he attained the arahantship, so he used his psychic power to dive into the earth and appear among the meeting, in the cave that's they are performing the Sangayana or rehearsal, the teaching or recitation. So in all the 500 Arahanta monks and the Venerable Mahakasava is the leader, who asked the question, who questioned to the to issue and bring up the topic, and Venerable Ananda answer to the question about the story, we call about the sutra. Sutra is about the story, or where the Buddha he went to teach people, and Venerable the one who are close to the Buddha, he could memorize the situation and people and the teaching that the Buddha gave to those people, and he most of the time Venerable Ananda answer to the sutra. And we call Dhamma. And for the discipline, the rule and discipline, answered by the Venerable
Upali.
Upali. So thank you, Machi. So Venerable Upali is the one who answer to the about the discipline, the monastic disciplinary or this monastery regulation. So in that cave, so the cave is called near the Rajakaha. And that the kingdom in Makata, and the one who support the recitation or the Sankiti, were the king Ajatasattu, the son of the king Bimbisara. Okay, so does anyone, Michi, have you ever heard? Can you share with us about the story of the king Ajatasattu? Do you have any ideas on him? Why he came to be the supporter to the first Sankiti of the recitation of the teaching of the Lord Buddha?
Ajatasattu, King Ajatasattu is the son of the King Bimbisara. Actually, he is a good man, but because of the Tevatatta or Patevatat, who persuaded him by telling him that if you kill your father, then you will be the king. And I will the one who killed the Buddha, and I will be rule all the Sangha. And Ajatasattu believed Tevatatta, so that he killed King Bimbisara, his father, and then but Tevatatta cannot kill the Buddha until the last day of his life, of Tevatatta's life. He was
guilty,
fell down deep to the hell, the deepest hell, Aveji Mahanarok, by การธรณีสูบ ธรณีสูบ ภาษาอังกฤษ the earth separated, and then Tevatatta suck Tevatatta deep down to the hell. For Ajatasattu, if he is not believe in Tevatatta, actually he can attain the Sotapanna, but because he killed his father, which is the most seriously killing in the 5 kind of killing that was very seriously for the Buddhists that we call in Bali that Anantariyakam. That is 5 is killing father, killing mother, killing Arahant or the Arahantas on the Arahant, make the Buddha breathing. And then separated the Sangha. That is a 5 series that make you go to the deepest hell. But because this Sankiti that King Ajatasattu be the supporter that make him not fail to the deepest hell, but because he killed the father, he cannot attain the Sotapanna. That I can't explain in English. But Ajatasattu biography is very interesting. If someone can find in English, then everyone will be. His life is very interesting and give us many more dhamma for our life to be to living in our life for Ajatasattu life. Yeah.
So this kind of new because maybe for Wai Ong and may not familiar, who is this king?
Yes.
Why he came to be playing an important role, as Meshi telling us the story about King Ajatasattu, So let's take a look about the name, the name Ajatasattu, So Achata, So when it is said when his mother, I couldn't remember the name of the mother of the Ajatasattu, but his father King Bimbisara. When the mother got pregnant, and we call the fortune teller, the astrologer told that the mother feels she felt thirsty on having blood, when she got pregnant. Yeah. And the fortune teller, the astrologer told it, the son, one after if he was born, he will be killing his own father, But the King Bimbisara didn't believe the astrologer. He believed that no, the baby, whatever is based on how we raise them. It's not about the astrologer, So when the mother, the queen, got thirsty on having blood, so the King Bimbisara will provide his blood to let the queen drink his blood, So that means the baby drank his father blood while he was already in the womb of his mother, the queen, So that is the sign showing that the baby he will be is a kind of a sign telling he's going to be the great and maybe killing his father in the future and take the throne. But the King Bimbisara, because of love and kindness, at that time he's already the follower of the Buddha and he already attained the Sotapanna. Become the Buddha follower already. So after the the prince was born. So he was given name Acha Satru. It means that he who is not going to be the enemy. Acha Satru. So a person who are not going to be the enemy of his own father or something. So that is how his name come to be the Acha Satru. So the one that who will never be the enemy. So that's what his name is given. And King Ajatasattu, like as the Mechi telling us that he was misguided by a bad monk, like the monk Tevatatta, who was jealous of the Buddha and trying to take over and becoming the leader of the monk community instead of the Buddha, and he proposed so many strict rules to declare that, oh, he is greater than the Buddha, and he told the monk that, oh, monk should not eat meat, monk cannot live in the house, monk should can eat only from baking food, not allowed to accept the invitation when people invite to have food in the house, So he trying to propose that his practicing, his training is stricter than what the Buddha laid down. But the Buddha didn't follow. And he even caused him to feel more frustrated, and then he declared to the new monk, he who didn't know, who just entered monkhood, that, oh, and said that, oh, now see who is stricter than the Buddha or me. So for those new monk didn't know, they just follow the Tevatatta, and he separate, and that is one of the serious, we call serious, gravely deed that the monk Tevatatta caused separating the Sangha. So there's one considered as one of the Ananda Riyakama. So we call uncomparable, fruitful, we call fruits of the bad action, causing separating the Sangha. So other separation, the venerable, the monk Tevadatta, so to gain more of his power, he went to persuade, to have the Prince Ajatasattu to be his side. Then, like Mechi said, he told the Ajatasattu to kill his own father, and he will rule the kingdom, and for him he will kill the Buddha and rule the Sangha and rule the monk, So that's negative intention caused Theravada to do so many gravely bad deed, So he once, when the Buddha went out and trying to going to collect food as usual, and he went up to the mountain and rolling the rock, expecting that the rock will come and kill the Buddha. But the rock, something miracle happened. The rock just broke down into little piece, and one of the smallest piece, and stressed the Buddha feet, the Buddha foot, and that's what we call a little bleeding. I'm not sure bleeding how to say in English. It's not really bleeding. It's like it hurt, and still you can see that it's the skin of the body, the Buddha turned into red. We call palohit ho in Thai. In English, it's maybe it's not that really bleeding. It's like cause the feet of the Buddha that's turned into red. So that's one of the sometimes not only that, the Trinsit Tewatata also feed the elephant to feed the elephant name what is the name of the elephant, Machi? Kilimekala, is that right? Kilimekala, to get drunk. So when the elephant got drunk, so Tewatata released the a drunken elephant to strike the Buddha. And the Buddha used his compassion to soften the drunken elephant. So when the elephant recovered, so the Buddha softened that drunken elephant, and the elephant cannot do no harm. So sometimes he hired the one of the lady that we call Benjamavika lady. So and to go to the Buddha while the Buddha was teaching, and then tells everyone that he got pregnant with the Buddha. So then when everybody is looking at the Buddha, and the Buddha just calmly, so use his peaceful and calmly and kind heart, and tell to the Benjamavika lady that no one know what the truth is. Only you and me know the truth, And with the calmness of the Buddha, so at that time, it is said that the Deva, so came and cut, that actually she just make to let people see that she got pregnant. Actually, inside her womb is not a baby, but it's just like the shell of the turtle. And sometimes it's said that the Venerable Makkalana, he disguised as a rat, and go inside her womb and bite at the rope that tying with her body. And the truth is open. Everybody know that she didn't got pregnant. So that is the story about the relationship between King Ajatasattu and the Venerable Tewatata. And because of that misguided, the king Ajatasattu, when he knew that the monk Tewatata actually he's not doesn't have a good intention, and he have his own mindfulness back. He was aware that now he was misguided, and he feel guilty that he have been following a wrong view monk. So, and he no longer support monk Tewatata, and came to support the Buddha. But what he had done while he following the Tewatata was that he attempting to kill his own father, that's King Bimbisara. So, but he didn't let anyone kill. He just put his father in jail in the room, in the room that's and not to give him food, give the king food, so expecting that he to let the king die without food. But the mother, the queen, sometimes she hide the food and go to when she visit the king, and she then hide the food and give to the king. And one is caught by the Ajatasattu, King Ajatasattu. So she was not allowed, the queen, and to visit the King Bimbisara. So, but King Bimbisara, while he was in jail, in depression, he still keep practicing walking meditation. So that's said that there was a window that every morning he could see the Buddha when the Buddha wake up and go arms round, and he practiced walking meditation and his mind paying homage to the Buddha, and that's allowed him to be able to live, without food, even though no food that he eat, and that's called King Ajatasattu to wonder why King Bimbisara is not dead without having food. And he heard it because he practiced meditation, walking meditation. So then he let his barber, so his barber, to use the knife to cut the heel of the King Bimbisara. So he will not able to practice walking meditation. So after the King Bimbisara was cut, the skin of his feet, his heel, he no longer can practice walking meditation, and finally King Bimbisara died. So the day that King Bimbisara died, he attained that's enlightenment, and the King Ajatasattu, that day, his son just born. So when he saw the son, his son was born. So that's remind him about how much love that his father have on him. So that's recall his mindfulness. But it's too late. And when he ordered the children to release the king Bimbisara already dead. So that is his guilt, on his father, and his father, and a big mistake that he have done on his father. And he understood that how much love and dedication that his father have to raise him. So then that is the story about King Ajatasattu. Then he turned from the wrong view into the right view and came to support the Buddha. And even after the Buddha passed away, he dedicates and offer and provide the full requisite, shelter, food, medicine, and clothes, to supporting the rehearsal at the first Sankiti. So that is the story of the King Ajatasattu, that how he came to be the first Sankiti, the rehearsal of the teaching of the Buddha. And in the first Sankiti, there were 500 Arahata monks who attained the recitation of the teaching of the Buddha. And it took 3 months. It took 3 months totally to collect all the teaching, to recite all the teaching, and still the recitation is finished. Okay, so this is the last chapter about the situation that's happened after the life of the Buddha. So in this part, now we're not going to talk. It's because this is the part that's how the teaching of the Buddha were preserved and spread from generation to generation. And later on, the teaching of the Buddha were rehearsal into many different times. So it's been now totally 8 different times. So in that session, you're going to be learning in the Dhamma, in the intermediate level, how the teaching of the Buddha transmit, and each time of the recitation, what change and what's caused it's time to why the community of the monk have to rehearsal for 8 different times. And it's how it's come to be the main scripture that we use as a Buddhist primary source nowadays. It's called the Tipitaka, the Pali Canon. That's the collection of the teaching of the Lord Buddha. So that is why in the teaching, in the Buddha time, it's called the Dhamma and Vinaya. So Dhamma and the teaching and Vinaya is a monastic regulation. So the evolution of the teaching of the Buddha is still before coming the Tripitaka. In the Buddha time, we don't really call Tripitaka. So Tripitakas mean the 3 baskets, which is the collection of the monastic rule, the rule for the monk and female monk, Bhikkhu and Bhikkhuni. And the second collection is a sutra. It's about the discourse and words and story that the Buddha taught in many different lecture, different group of the people. Is about the story. And the third collection is called Abhidhamma. Abhidhamma is talking about the ultimate nature of reality. There's no person, no story. They were talking only about the ultimate nature of reality, talking about the wholesome and unwholesome, talking about the elements, talking about the mind, minds and body, talking about the concept of nirvana, talking about the mind factor, we call cetasika, and that is concerned with the Abhidhamma study. And that is the background and story of the life of the Buddha. And even though the Buddha has already passed away, but his teaching still working on, so the wheel of the Dhamma still moving on. So that's why the Buddha said that a person who see me, see the teaching, who see the teaching, see me. So even though the Buddha, he's physically no longer exists, but his teaching still working as the Buddha representative. Okay.
อาจารย์ can we that this slide the last one no not this one the last slide yeah it took 3 months I think it took 7 months 3 months after Buddha death and then 3 months after the Buddha death they made the first Sankiti but the Sankiti it took about 7 months, not 3 months. I'm quite sure about this the time here. Yeah. It's
Okay.
it took 7 months, but after the Buddha passed away 3 months, they start the first Sankiti. But the Sankiti is took 7 months.
Okay. So thank you for providing the information. Let's check. Also, I'm also quite not sure that it's really 3 months or 7 months. So yes, yeah, what you said that after the Buddha passed away 3 months, then they
Yes.
having the first Sankiti, and it took 7 months and 500 months.
Yes. I checked with the Google already.
Okay. So thank you for approving. So this is not 3, 3 months after the
Yes, it
passed
should
away, 3
be
months.
7 months.
Okay, thank you. And each time maybe the second Sankiti, they spend different periods of time. So
Yes.
I'm not the second time when they have the first Sankiti, it took maybe, I'm not sure, 5 months or maybe 3 months, maybe in the third Sankiti. Okay, so first Sankiti 7 months, 5 Arahant.
7 months
Okay, thank you.
and 500 Arahant.
Okay, so I think we come to an end to our class today. Okay, so hopefully you have learned something new, very new, for you, and maybe something you may find, oh, it's very hard to follow and to understand. Some point is very in detail, At some point you may have heard before, and this is the how we call learning and studying in Nak Tham, in the first level, in the first we call level of the Dharma study, which is we're not going to really in detail, but this kind of learning and studying is just the way to go to study in deeper by yourself, So like the book that I show you and the sort I show you, does not really have that we call reference, because I took from different parts, and if you would like to know more in detail, I think Tipitaka is one of the most reliable source that we can learn from. All right, so lastly, so with everyone, the best of health, the best of happiness, and wish everyone have a merit, having merit together and studying, enjoying in the Dhamma study class. So wish everyone to have a fruitful Dhamma study and fruitful and Dhamma practice. So whatever merits that you have gained from studying from the Dhamma and the teaching, not only from the Buddhist, the history of the Buddha class. So I believe that you have learned and gained more wisdom and knowledge from the teaching of the Lord Buddha. So may everyone to stay healthy, stay happy, and to stay in the wholesome way, whatever you wish in the wholesome way, may all of your wish to be fulfilled. And whenever you have a chance to practice following the teaching of the Buddha, and wish everyone to have the eyes of wisdom and get the truthful result of the Dhamma practice. Okay, so now let us pay homage to the Triple J. Arahang Samma Sambuddho Bhagava Buddhang Bhagavantang Abhivademi Sawakhato Bhagavata Dhammo Dhammang Namasami Supatipanno Bhagavato Sawaka Sangho Sanghang Namami.
Lumpy, thank you so much for your guidance, and rejoice in all your merit too, and share our merits to you too.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you,
กราบ
หลวง
นมัส
พี่
การขอบพระคุณค่ะ
Sadhu Anumodhana to all the merits, your efforts, your dedication, and your time and learning, practicing. All right, so for the examination, so maybe the team of the teacher will announce and let you know in the group later on. Okay, so now just I'm not sure that how many chapter that's the other subject. So for the Vinaya and history of the Buddha now is finished. So maybe there's 2 more subjects, maybe with Ajahn Longchai and Ajahn Waravut. So
พระอาจารย์ all the examination paper will be the question and answer or as a multiple choice.
it could be both, it
Oh,
depends.
okay.
So for the history of the life of the Buddha, there mostly will be in the multiple choice. There will be some question that you have to fill in or explain or write. But all the what will be in the examination, it will be in the book, in the Dhammakaya book, the blue one, and also the slide that I have shared with you. So we will have the online test, which is that we'll have a specific time that we will open you to enter and have a test. Okay.
Oh, it's an open book kind of test also.
So it's open. It's open book. So in the last class, the last class is you have 3 hours, which is
Because we
Wait,
cannot ask
wait,
Mali
you
to give us
cannot
the answer. So we have to have an open book.
actually examination cannot open the book. If
so,
you want to open, we just open it quietly. No need to ask.
So let's see the criteria. So for the previous class, they have a limited time. So some class they're allowed to use some guidance book, but you have to make sure that you will be able to finish it in time, because the time to allow you to have a test, they will set a limited time.
So when they set the test, the day of the test, is everyone the same, or it still go online when you go for the test, you just go online? It's not the kind, is it? Because if the date that they set happened that we are not in town, we are in a ceremony, then how are we going to do the test?
So it will open for maybe all day, maybe 24 hour, or maybe 2 day or 3 day. That's the test will be open, and when you enter the platform, so the time to start to count, maybe you have
okay.
start to count maybe
I
1
see.
hour,
Okay.
and when time is over, so you can
Close.
go and have it any time at your convenience. But when you are logged in, when you are in the test, the time will start to count down. That is
Okay,
what
so
we
we cannot take time.
we have the test through online.
Okay. So it's only a one time. You cannot say after taking, if you stop somewhere and then you want to go back and restart again. You can't do that. Not like now.
So when you have a test, when you enter the test already, you cannot redo it again. So one time test.
Okay. Because now the test is like now those exercise. If you do, they ask you to resubmit. This is like a chance for you.
So
Yeah,
it's
so
different
the actual test
from
is not.
assignment. So for assignment,
assignment.
you can resubmit. But for the test there's a different system, and the instruction the teacher Mang will explain to you later on in detail.
Yeah, because I have not been taking exam for more than 20, 30 years already. So now it's like going through again. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for the info.
Okay. The best, all the best.
Thank
Take
you.
care. Okay.
You.
Thank you หลวงพี่
สาธุนมัสการครับหลวงพี่เควิน
นมัสการค่ะพระอาจารย์
Because for Lompi, they all got no problem. all the story, all the names. I think where and me is like trying to figure out all the names, right? Where got no problem to get all the names? Huh? No problem? No problem, I have a problem. That's why you see every time when the question and what is always